So have you been wanting to build your own DIY acoustic panels, but you think you lack the skills, tools, or the money to make it happen? Well, let's crush that myth today, because I'm going to show you how to build super professional and super cheap, amazing sound panels for your home studio. Let's dive in. So recently I worked on a job helping to convert this old office into a simple but effective podcast studio. One of the things I needed to do was build some sound panels to help control the echo and room sound. The panels I created are approximately 47 inches tall and 32 inches wide, which hold two panels of Rockwool safe and sound insulation side by side. Although the room sounds pretty good now, I'm going to build some more sound panels to make it sound even better. This time I'm going to utilize the same design, but only make them half the width, holding only one panel of the Rockwool insulation. The exact dimensions of the panels are going to be 47 inches tall by 16 3/4 inches wide, with two horizontal ribs that will each be cut at 15 1/4 inches. Also, I'm going to leave the exact dimensions and materials list for both of these panels down below. To build these panels, you're going to need some basic tools: a pencil, a tape measure, a square, a skill saw or chop saw, or a handsaw if you're a glutton for punishment, a drill, drill bits, screws, and a staple gun with staples. The materials you're going to need are going to be found at your local Lowe's, Home Depot, or hardware store that carries lumber. For the frames, you'll need 1x4 common board, most likely in lengths of 6 to 8 feet. For the ribs, you can use something smaller like 1x2. And for the fabric, I use a cheap muslin on the back and a duck canvas for the front. You can find this at any fabric store like Michael's or Joann Fabric. A quick note, I personally like to use duck canvas because it comes in a variety of colors. It's easy to work with and it's pretty cheap. It's also breathable, which is really important. It's essential that whatever cover you use is porous enough that you can feel your breath through the material. That will ensure that the panels can absorb as much sound in the room as possible. Let's talk really quick about the cost. I purchased enough material to make 12 panels that hold one bat of the insulation. I bought one package of Rockwool Safe and Sound, which has 12 panels of insulation, 12 8-foot 1x4 boards, and 6 6-foot 1x4 boards for the frames. For the ribs, I purchased a handful of 1x2 8-foot boards, plus some spare wood I had sitting around in my shed. For the fabric, I purchased 12 yards of muslin for the backs and 12 yards of duck canvas for the fronts. Luckily, I was able to get 40% off the fabric with a coupon, which saved me about $50. My total cost was around $350. This might seem like a lot of money, but if you divide the total cost of materials by 12 panels, it comes out to around $29 a panel, which is an incredible value for how much sound treatment you're getting. All right, well, let's build some sound panels. So the first thing I did was measured and made all the cuts for my frames as well as the ribs. This was a lot of cuts, but it went pretty quick using a chop saw. Once all the cuts were made, I started assembling the frames. I pre-drilled all the holes to reduce splitting and used some old deck screws I had laying around, which worked pretty well. Next, I added the ribs, which measured 14 inches down from each end. Again, I pre-drilled the holes and just used one screw on each side. I found that to be adequately strong for these panels. As you can see, one panel of Rockwool insulation fits nice and snug into the frame. This is just how you want it. Next, I set up a station to put on the fabric. First, I put the muslin on the back of each panel. I pre-cut the fabric to an approximate length and laid it on. Then, using my pneumatic staple gun, I stapled one of the ends, being careful to keep it nice and even. Then, I moved to the other end and stapled it, pulling the fabric gently to keep it taut. The muslin fabric is fairly stretchy, so it's easy to work with and keep smooth. I finished by stapling each side methodically, keeping the fabric taut as I stapled it down. With the muslin fabric on the back, I then added the Rockwool insulation. Next, I laid the pre-cut canvas over the top, then carefully flipped the panel. From here, I got the canvas as straight as possible, then started stapling down one side. Since I did this on my own, I was careful to keep things nice and even. When stapling the other side, I was careful to keep the fabric smooth by gently pulling it taut before each staple. Next, I folded in each end and stapled it. Here's what the finished folds look like, and you can experiment with how you want your folds to look. And here's the finished panels. So as far as mounting the panels, I've used wire before, almost like you're hanging a picture on the wall. But for these panels I'm putting in this new podcast studio, I'm attaching them to the wall with corner or L brackets, and this is for safety reasons since they'll be sitting high up on the wall. So there you have it. I hope you found this video helpful, and hopefully it gives you some inspiration to build some of your own professional acoustic panels for your own studio. If you enjoyed this video, make sure and like it, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you get notified every time I put out a new video. All right, well, that's it for today. Take care of yourselves. Peace out. We'll catch you next time.